Hi lovelies. Today is Yellow Planetary Warrior, and I'm just going to show you some of the magic today in the house, literally with magic. Oh, no, I won't show you now because she just come off. But she was on the top of the mattress. She was up there. So, back outside. Hopefully it's not going to rain, but as you can see, it's looking a bit cloudy. Look at my amazing cardoon there. I'm just loving the garden, a complete lovely sanctuary. It's a bit wild. But, been working my way around it. Hopefully, we've got signal here. Say so, but it seems to have been a bit erratic. Signal at the moment. So I was going to actually do it in the summer house. I'm just setting that up, ready for massage. The family. So it's very warm here today. It's lovely, lovely weather. It was really hot yesterday. And we had a magical day for the solstice. So solstice blessings to you all. We started off in Bournemouth because we went to see Roger Daltrey down there of The Who. And we went on the beach, which is a really beautiful beach there. We also went to Ringwood and saw the wild horses. And I did a workshop there many years ago in Burley, which is, if you do the research there and just put that in Google, that's Burley, or Ringwood, some of the most ancient places in England with beautiful forests. And this was the centre of witchcraft many, many years ago. So lots of history going on there, and again recognising that this is a repeating pattern for all people who are interested in becoming conscious dreamers, becoming aware of who we really are rather than who we've been told that we are in our society. That has an agenda around that. And this has been going on for hundreds and hundreds of years, thousands of years, actually. And of course, we've all been part of this dance over millennia. So we're into the Wavespell of Blue Hand, and we're on day 10 of it. So remember, we began here. And we've done the red and we've done the white, and then we went into Blue Hand, the blue, and so that began there 10 days ago, and now we're here on the 10th day, the manifestation day always, and in this case it's Yellow Warrior, and the planet is Saturn. And so Yellow Warrior is a mastery code. It's number 16. When you add those together, it's number 7. So again, using numerology, Blue Hand is the 7th mind sign, and we're shaping our destiny. So when we began this on the 19th of May, in Taurus energy, we're seeing what is manifest in terms of what we are producing, what we've created, in our world because of our belief systems and our ancestral belief systems. And this is so powerful and so strong now, this understanding. And of course, being with your family, this is really key as well. So with the solstice on the 21st, which was White Galactic Wizard, that was a reminder that we've reached the midheaven point of when the sun is at the highest. And this is also in your chart, your midheaven, the top of your chart. And so it means the goddess is back in full splendor, because we began at the spring equinox with Aries. So we initiated the masculine in us, the hero, the heroine, out on the journey in the land. And of course, this whole journey lasts for 6 months in the sun. And so we're out working with what energy, whatever belief system, whatever is here in our projector. Our heart is the source code. So remember, everything, absolutely everything, is a projection. And so in psychological terms, often that is used if somebody's projecting something onto somebody else. It's usually a place of discord, disharmony, and an unconscious place where people are actually projecting their own story out onto somebody else and believing that this person is playing out an old story with them, instead of owning their own part in it. Now, I find this terminology quite limiting in that capacity of, it's always seen as a bad thing. It's always seen as something that's not recognized. And of course, that can be partly true, but I think it can also be very much used in a way of saying it's your fault, it's your issue, it's your power struggle. And I think it's so much more than that. And using it in terms of the Mayan calendar, everything is a projection. So everybody that we meet in Lakesh, I am another you, I have the same story as you, I'm a human being. And the people in your sphere of influence that are coming in, of course, they're going to have very similar stories going on. And if you work as a therapist, as I've done for 14 years now, in this particular framework, I've been working for 11 years. So this is what I recognize, and this is what I share with people when I work with people on a one-to-one basis, and when I share them the patterns in the videos. So today we're really seeing what's manifest in the heart path. We're seeing the culmination on a smaller level of what came before from the spring equinox. But of course, it's a continuation. It's a continuum of everything that's come before us as well, and many, many lifetimes. And the more that you get into the swing of this, you realize that you are simply an embodiment of all the previous stories and the things that you saw when you were growing up, how you learned how to be from your environment and also from your gene pool. And more people are becoming aware of this now. So this consciousness is expanding all the time. So Saturn is the real key. And of course, we've got Saturn in Aquarius. And today is a very powerful day astrologically as well. We've got 7 planets, all in their own rulership. So again, sorry, tomorrow, this is not today, tomorrow on the 24th, on the 23rd today, I'm having issues around trying to stay in the groove of the day at the moment, which is good. I like that. And really find that in Glastonbury, and also when you visit sacred sites like Avebury. If you haven't checked Avebury out yet, go. It is the goddess place. It's so beautiful, relaxing, and of course the more that we can relax and let go and be in the love space, and that's key to everything. It's key to what we're going to manifest coming from a clear space and coming from freedom of this ancestral wounding pattern and story. Because if you hang out with your parents, with your relatives, your mums in particular, of course, Cancer is all about home, it's about the mum that birthed us and how we hold her line, because women are the birth channel, they're the gateway, they hold the dream. And the more that you can be around them today as an adult, you can understand how their beliefs and their behaviors, and especially awakening to the addictions on planet Earth and how they've been used to control and manipulate human beings over a very long period of time, and how we've been party to that as well, you know, taking full responsibility for that as well, now that we're becoming aware of it. The more that you can be around your mum and watch her behavior, and then recognize how your behavior has been shaped by her. So the sun being in Cancer is, so Cancer is the 4th sign. And if you look in your charts, again, I was talking about the midheaven, so we're at the midheaven space in terms of the solstice, but Cancer's actually at the bottom. And so again, there's lots of different frameworks to go with at this. But Cancer is actually the stairway to heaven in the natural zodiac. So it's where the IC begins and goes up to the MC. And so you start to climb from your childhood. And again, you can look at the 4th house being age 4 as well. Lots of different ways to look at this. And remember, the goal is, so we become more consciously aware of our own patterns. That's the most important focus, because we are the only thing that can be changed. And as we change, everything else changes. So the 4th mind sign is yellow seed. And it's also about the mask. It's about how the star seed is within us. And so we've got lots of masks, we've got lots of layers. And how do we unlock that seed potential instead of often carrying on unconsciously over time, just repeating the same patterns, the same mistakes? And remember that yellow seed is a planetary energy, and we're in yellow electric seed at the moment. We're in a year 3 of a 13-year cycle of the moon goddess, white wizard, which again, going back to the solstice, the moon goddess, white galactic wizard is the essence that day. And that's my daughter's mind sign, and that's my grandfather's mind sign. So clues around what that's about for me in my lineage. So my grandfather was a Leo, and he was born on the 15th of August. And my daughter is a Sagittarius, and she's born on the 18th of December. And I'm born on the 18th of August. And there's a big thing in August, of course, with the Mayan calendar as well, because it's when the new year begins. And it's when we'll be going into year 4, which is blue self-existing storm. So the planetary energies are red moon, which lasts for 13 years. And that began in 2006 and ended in 2018. So what were you awakening to then? White wizard, which we're in now, began in 2019. And as I said, we're on year 3 and we'll be going into year 4. And year 4 will be the challenge to see whether we can be in our center or not. So again, year 4, when we were 4, the bottom of our stairway to heaven, what that is for you in your particular cosmic code is really important. And so for me, that is Gemini. That's my mum and dad. And I have Jupiter in Gemini as well, but that's in my 5th house. So that's mastery of understanding my mum and dad's belief systems, their communication, their patterns, and how I'm embodying it now. So when we go into this new year, on July the 25th, which is the day out of time, actually begins July the 26th. Day out of time, we've got time to reflect on what's been going on. And so I am with my mum all the time at the moment, and she has been very unwell. And so again, to go back to our pattern and our code, my maternal great-grandmother committed suicide on my grandfather's birthday, which is huge, you know. And I recognized, mapping all these codes, how profound that is. And so that's one of the key things that I am here to understand and integrate, and I believe that we all are, is what has created trauma and deep emotional inability to cope with the world, which we are experiencing now en masse. Mental health issues because of what's been happening for the last 2 years in particular, in a big way, but also what has come before that. So I believe we are here to learn from these experiences and start to heal these experiences and start to change behaviors, most importantly. So for me, again, in all my videos, I talk about emotional freedom technique and how to heal and come into confidence. This is so important with white wizard energy, to come into empowerment from a healed space, or healing, you know, we're all a work in progress, but a healing space where we learn how to be assertive. And emotional freedom technique is so amazing. If you haven't checked it out, check it out on emofree.com. That's Gary Craig's website. There is a manual on there that you can download and start to understand how your mind works, how your amygdala works, how you are storing all of your ancestral stories and how we continue to repeat them. And the positive about that, the Saturnian pattern, the Saturn return, is that the universe keeps bringing us the same experiences so that we can learn from them. So instead of resisting these experiences, it's great to start to learn the tools, and that is what Blue Hand is all about. So learning the tools to really work with this energy and start to come into natural time. This is what the Mayan calendar is about. The more we sink in with natural time and we start to learn about all of this, we map our code. So today, for example, I am revisiting when I was 53. And so just having this awareness and this information, your mind just starts to really pick up on that, and you start to download and connect to and see how your experiences today are matching those, then what your challenges are, which are always what happened in childhood, and how to learn from that and move on from that instead of being stuck on the karmic wheel. So the card for today, the Mayan Oracle card, is Bok, which is white dog. You can hear the dogs in the background. So white dog is the 10th Mayan sign, and it's the manifestation code of where we see how we're still stuck in the ancestral wounding and how we can transform that, and then we go into a different space. we've got the Ace of Cups with Thoth, so initiating clear cup, empty the cup of the emotional trauma. And the simplest way to know what that is we get triggered every day. As I said, the same experiences come around, we get triggered. And once we learn how to work with that and build our skill, we can follow the cosmic cookie trail, we can follow the golden thread back to the particular event where it was first created in us. And magic, the Magis, which is us. So again, I'll put links to these cards, which are amazing, the Thoth cards. So at this time of year, as we go into the goddess energy, and again, if you can do that every day on a micro. So we can do what starts to begin after midnight and starts to build. That's the elimination cycle coming out. Very important to allow our body to eliminate at that point as well, instead of stuffing it with food to digest. Just really light food and fruits, that is very easy to digest. So again, you can see how the current civilization models often aren't geared around the natural cycles. As we get to 11 o'clock, for example, we have Leo meridian, the heart meridian. Great time to be doing heart healing work from 11 till 1. Before that, 9 till 11 is the Cancerian time to be nurturing and looking after ourselves. And the more that we can start to shift into this pattern, the more we can heal and the more well we can feel. So celebrating the goddess at this time and really relaxing into surrender around what the ego story has been showing us since April. Lots of power issues coming up at the moment. And so it's an important time to really acknowledge that, where we feel disempowered and what the world is showing us, our holographic projection. So a little thing I did that I always do when I go to Avery is I let my higher self pick a stone for me. And so you can see that, but there's a ruby in there. And this is very much about problem solving. So as you can see with the colors, it's very much a throat chakra and heart connection. And there's lots of little pink bits in there. But for me, as soon as I go and pick these up, I notice what I'm attracted to, and I really try and switch my head off and just say, show me through the feeling. And this is the key now. So often we can be led astray by the head because, again, with the projection story, this is how we are trying to protect ourselves in some way through our experience. So as we get older, yes, we can become wiser through our experience, and we can also be blindfolded by that experience. Get that out then. So we can be stuck in an old fear pattern and fear story, and of course that in itself is going to happen again until we can clear it. So it's a very powerful experiential way of really creating a skill set around this, to trust our intuition and trust our spirit, trust what our higher self is telling us, rather than keep doing the old patterns, the old history. And this is something to really work on in mastery, our Jupiter. So I'm just going to read you the 29 degrees of moon in Aries. We've got the new moon is coming up on the 28th. And that's going to be moon in Cancer at 7 degrees. So that, again, really ties in with the mystic, the shaping of our destiny, how we learn how to heal, how we learn how to use healing tools, really re-emerging myself in my essential oils again as well, which again, the essential oils are just mind-blowing for massage, room diffusers, for using, as they can really help us to heal on a very deep level.